Russ, I see on the back of your McCabe business card that you have a 9-word speech. Can you tell me where that came from?
Yeah, it's a fun story. It's a fun story. The speech is about 20 years old. In fact, about 22 years old. And as business people, you know, each year we get a chance to review our goals and have a performance review with our superiors. And I think it was in 1997, 1998. We knocked it dead. We did everything that was asked of us on the numbers, on the financials, on the inventory. And my boss was a friend of mine, close friend, really a mentor of mine over time. Jim guided me through a lot of hardship. And so I went into Jim's office wondering, you know, there'd be that congratulatory work, but there'd always be the yeah, but, you know? Yeah, but. So we got our conversation started and we went through the numbers and we celebrated the success of the numbers. But then when it came time for the real building of the change in your lifestyle, Jim says, you know, you're a good leader. Your team likes you. You inspire them to do good stuff. But he says, it just takes you too long to say it. So, of course, I kind of gritted my teeth and said, okay, I'll fix you. And at the end of our concluding remarks, I went back to my office and said, I'm going to write down in 10 words or less my business philosophy and the way I guide people and the way I guide myself. And so in that time I went back and I wrote down 9 words. And it was lead by example, drive customer satisfaction, build trust, and listen.
Okay.
And if you think of that, there's four action words there. There's a lead, there's a drive, there's a build, and there's a listen. And I know when I had my next business cards created in that environment, I put those 9 words on the back of my business card. And at one business meeting, I was kind of flashing them around, and Jim says, what's that? I said, well, that's the result of my performance review. I wanted to show that I could express myself in a very concise way and in a way that would explain some of my philosophies about business. Now, what's really funny about this is years later, I was sitting in the airport lounge area in Minneapolis, and one of my prior employees came by with his new boss. It was late at night. We'd missed flights. It was 9:30, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And Drew came up and he introduced me to his new boss and how we were acquainted and said, do you still have the 9-word speech? And as a matter of fact, I did. I had it in my wallet and I took out one of my old business cards and I said, yeah, here it is, handed it to him. And he showed it to his boss. Well, years later, when I was leaving a company, the owner of the company sent me a congratulatory note. And in that, he said, you know, one of the things that really connected me with you was your 9-word speech. And this was like 18 years after I'd written it. And even today, when I see friends and acquaintances, they say, are you still using the 9-word speech? And really where I'm at here, I haven't had to use it that much because I really haven't had really a directional team. But I can use this speech in any business setting. I can turn 9 words into 90 or 90 into 900. And I use this in my family as well. When my kids around the dinner table, I said, you know, if you want people to behave in a manner that you want them to behave, lead by example. And then drive towards their personal satisfaction. And by the way, I've changed that word now to engagement, drive customer engagement. And I'll probably change it again because I like the word happiness. But building trust and listening. And listening is an action verb. And some people don't listen very well. They just wait until it's their turn to speak again, and they don't listen. And I think that I took an assessment test here within the last months, and I was really pleased with the results of that assessment test. Says that you can talk and listen at the same time. And that was an attribute. So I made sure I rang up Jim and said, I told you that you can speak and listen at the same time. Now, McCabe, this is one of the values that I have, and I think that the highest compliment you can ever pay anybody is asking them their opinion and then listening to that opinion and taking action on it. So those are the 9 words, and I'll train on that one day. I'll probably get a class together and say, okay, your responsibility is write down your philosophy, your personal philosophy, and do it 9 words or less. And everybody goes, well, you can't do that. I said, sure you can.
There it is.
Thank you.